For the Delisle Pride. One down, that brings first baseman Jordan Durham to the plate for the Pride. Delisle finishing fourth in the standings with a record of 3-3. Murno also had a record of 3-3. Tiebreaker was determined based on run differential. Just nicely underway. And again, the caveat in all of this is that we're looking a little bit to the north. And my precious phone says that the weather pattern will change at 11 this morning. Grounded by Durham, played by the second baseman Lewis, gets it across in time. So very quickly, Brody Frazier has two men down. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, the catcher, Max Major. There are many impressive players at every level in this tournament, whether it's U23, the Masters, or the men's. But Major has been particularly visible as the catcher for the Saskatchewan-based Delisle Pride. 2 down, nobody on, first inning here in Kitchener. Here's the pitch from Fraser, and that's fouled off. And once again, the first base coach for Delisle makes an error. He's had a tough tournament, no question. 1 strike. The 3 matchups that we know of in the U23 division, the one that you're watching now, Delisle against Murno, that will be followed by the 1-2 game, the first-placed Rostock Junior Batman in against the Tavistock Merchants. Fraser delivers, called strike. Delisle having some discrepancy in terms of what they believe is a strike or not. 2 strikes on Max Major. Major, who is the catcher for the Saskatchewan team, looks in against Fraser. And time is called by Major. Major wants to do some landscaping in the batter's box. And now finally will take his position. 2 down, nobody on. Top of the first inning, Delisle Pride against Murno. Checked the swing, thought about it for a second. Ryan Bicknell struck out looking. Jordan Durham grounded out to Ryder Lewis at second base. And that brings us to Max Major. Left-handed swinger. Fraser, the right-handed pitcher. Swing and a miss, and that's the first inning. 2 strikeouts for Brody Fraser. No runs, no hits, nobody left on for the Delisle Pride. Once again, we want to run down the games today. You're watching the game here on Conestoga College Digital TV, and we'll do a shout-out to Darcy. And I was going to say all the folks, Darcy, but it's just you today on Conestoga College Digital TV. But Darcy has done a good job to get us on the live stream, and I hope you're enjoying it, whether you're watching in Newfoundland or whether you're watching in Saskatchewan or right around the world. We thank you, everybody, for joining us here on softball.ca with CCDTV. Okay, so we're watching the Delisle Pride and the Murno Mariners. The Mariners coming to the plate in the bottom of the first inning in a scoreless game. The winner of this game will advance to meet either New Hamburg or Quebec at 3:30 this afternoon. The next game up here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard on diamond number 1 will be the first place Rostock Junior Batman in against the Tavistock Merchants. Rostock went 5-1, losing only their final game of the tournament. Tavistock, who started with a really almost devastating loss, extra innings in this tournament, rallied to go 4-2 or 4-1 over the remainder of the tournament to finish at 4-2. So it'll be Rostock against Tavistock. The winner of that game will advance directly to the championship game. And then our third game that's scheduled today in the under-23 division will be the New Hamburg Mustangs against Team Quebec. New Hamburg went 3-3 in the round robin, and Quebec finished with a record of 2-4. Again, the loser of that game will be eliminated. The winner of New Hamburg, Quebec, will advance to meet the winner of this game between Murno and Delisle. And that's just the under-23. We've got men's and masters as well taking place here today. Nate Thiessen is getting the start for the Delisle Pride. He'll be in against Mark Corbett, the center fielder, followed by Adrian Green, the catcher, and then the pitcher Brody Frazier will come to the plate. Just getting going on a cloudy morning here in Kitchener. But I will say this, the clouds appear to be fairly high right now. And again, the weather forecast calling for rain from late morning right through to late afternoon. We've already had one day of rain, and we've had 2 days of great weather. Monday was fine. Yesterday was a spectacular day weather-wise, perfect day for ball. Mark Corbett to lead things off for Murno Mariners out of Newfoundland. They finished fifth with a record of 3-3. Swing and a miss by Corbett for strike one. Thiessen takes the set in the circle. Fouled off, and so very quickly, Corbett finds himself in a hole, 0-2. Tom Norris, the third baseman, is going to pick that ball up. Here's the defense in the infield for Delisle. At first base, Jordan Durham. At second base, Justin Ritchie. At shortstop, Caden Feddick. And at third base, Tom Norris. That's the infield defense behind pitcher Nate Thiessen. In the outfield, Ryan Bicknell is in left field. In center field, it's Nick Fry. And in right field, in right field is Davis Laskowski. 2 strikes on Mark Corbett. Lots of noise from the Murno dugout. This is skied way into right field. Camping under it is Laskowski, and he'll make the putout 1 down. Adrian Green, the catcher for Murno Mariners, is coming to the plate now. 1 down, bottom of the first, and we are scoreless. These teams met yesterday. Murno winning the game by a score of 4-3. Will history repeat itself, or will Delisle rally and move on? This one is launched into left field. Camping under it, Ryan Bicknell makes the catch. So 2 fly balls have got Delisle 2 men out, and Murno 2 men down as they come to the plate. This is the pitcher, Brody Frazier. We saw Murno yesterday, and Frazier exhibited a very, very good stick. Thiessen, very calmly, sets his back foot, delivers low. Pitcher batting third. That one was bounced in, got away on Thiessen. 2 balls, no strikes. Third batter of the bottom of the first inning for Murno. We're scoreless here this morning in Kitchener. Welcome to everybody watching on softball.ca through the auspices of CCDTV. If you're wondering what CCDTV is, it's Conestoga College here in Kitchener, their digital TV service. 3 balls to the pitcher, Brody Frazier. Thiessen delivers right down the pipe for strike 1. Frazier seemingly taking all the way. A lot of lefty swingers here to start this ball game. That one's low, and so Frazier is aboard on a walk. First walk given up by Nate Thiessen brings the cleanup hitter to the plate. This is number 2 for Murno, the designated player, Mitchell Whalen. With 2 men away, I would assume that it's unlikely that there will be a bunt. Norris just in front of the bag at third. Durham just in front of the bag at first. The middle infielders at normal depth. Thiessen delivers. Frazier danced off first, called strike 1. Whalen steps back into the plate. Right-handed batter. Thiessen in motion. Delivers high. Frazier, bit by bit, getting a lead of about 8 to 10 feet. Or his jump, not a lead. That would be baseball. After the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, Frazier gets about 8 to 10 feet off the bag. Thiessen looking to finish the inning. Fires high. Called strike. I thought it was a ball, and so too did Whalen. And a little bit of a dispute from the first base coach for Murno. So Thiessen trying to get things done here. Brody Frazier at first for Murno is their starting pitcher. He had a 1-2-3 first. Thiessen has not given up a hit. That one definitely a high and gets away from the catcher. Major retrieves it. Frazier goes to second, and now Murno has a man in scoring position with the cleanup batter up. One of the reasons why I do like Delisle, and I saw them quite a bit during the course of the first 3 days of this tournament, is they do have some pitching depth. Thiessen getting the start here. Laskowski in right field, left-handed thrower. And Kobe Faubert had quite a number of games. This is fouled off. Major massages the ball, gets it back to the circle. Thiessen trying to get it finished here in inning number 1. Base hit would give us our first run of the ball game. Time was called by Whalen. Now Thiessen is ready. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Nate Thiessen. For Murno, no runs, no hits, 1 left on base. After an inning in game C3 of Softball Canada's U23 playoffs, the Delisle Pride and Murno Mariners are scoreless, Delisle coming to the plate. Laskowski, Norris, and Fedek due up for Delisle. Davis Laskowski, the right fielder, albeit you may see him in a pitching capacity in this game, or should Delisle advance. Norris is playing third base today. Evan Young has played a lot of third base, but Young is the designated player this morning. And then Caden Fedek is the shortstop, and that's kind of a unique shuffle of the lineup. I think every time that I saw Delisle play during the course of the week, the shortstop Fedek was their leadoff batter. As mentioned, Murno beat Delisle yesterday in round-robin play. Final score there was 4-3. The Rostock matchup with Tavistock, which is the 1-2 game. Rostock at 5-1, Tavistock finishing 4-2 in the round-robin. Rostock defeated Tavistock on Tuesday by a score of 3-1. And coming up later in the day at 1:15 this afternoon, scheduled for that time, New Hamburg against Quebec. Their meeting last night was a big win for Quebec. They beat New Hamburg by a score of 10-3. And it's interesting that New Hamburg started the tournament at 3-3, or pardon me, at 3-0, and then lost their next 3 games to finish the round robin at 3-3. Standing in, right-handed swinger Davis Laskowski. Brody Frazier bounces that one low and inside. Laskowski has exhibited a very good bat during the course of this tournament. homered on occasion. Top of the second inning, scoreless. Newfoundland against Saskatchewan. Murno Mariners representing Newfoundland. The Delisle Pride, the Saskatchewan representatives. And Saskatchewan, or Delisle, might not have a large cheering section, but they certainly are boisterous. Called strike on Laskowski. Brody Fraser, a 3-up, 3-down first. In against the cleanup hitter Laskowski, who missed that one. Two strikes on Davis Laskowski. Fraser, looking for his third strikeout of the ball game, struck out 2 in the first inning. Fouled off. Morning. How are you? Good. How are the Diamonds today? Okay. No promises from the City of Kitchener grounds crew. It's been a good week, though. The Diamonds look terrific. When it hasn't been raining, the Diamonds have looked terrific, and the renovations or the upgrades after rainfall has been terrific as well. So good for you and your staff. Who's your boss? I'll tell them. Bill Gallagher. If you're listening, Bill Gallagher, these people need raises, big raises. Here we go. Grounded foul, so it remains 2 strikes on Davis Laskowski. Again, the grounds crew telling me they're anticipating rain maybe between 11 and noon. Our sky right now is very conducive for ball. No sun to speak of, but the clouds over the Peter Hallman Ball Yard are very much high clouds, cloud cover. But I do look to Waterloo, and that looks where all the miserable weather comes from. Fraser delivers inside. Defense for Newfoundland at first base, Austin Earl. Ryder Lewis has already made a play at second. The shortstop, Nathan Peters, and at third base, Lyndon Power, who had a tremendous defensive game yesterday. Laskowski has worked the count. Fraser with the pitch, ball 4. First walk issued by Brody Fraser. That brings the third baseman, Tom Norris, to the plate. Looking at the outfield for Murno here this morning in game C3, Matthew King is in left field, Mark Corbett is in center, and the right fielder is Jared Pico. Pico will not come to the plate, as Whalen will bat but not play. That's high on Tom Norris. No illustration or indication that he was about to bunt. Getting his sign from the third base coach. 1 on, nobody out. Laskowski at first. Top of the second inning here in game C3. Outside. This again is an elimination game. The winner will advance to play later in the day in a second elimination game. The loser of this game will be eliminated from the tournament. As the standings suggest, with so many teams at 3-3, very close. Ground ball to first, wild throw, and it gets into the outfield grass. Well, a nice idea by Austin Earl at first base. He made the play, caught the ball. Instead of stepping on first, he elected to go to the shortstop, Nathan Peters, and threw the ball over his head. So an error on the first baseman, Earl, pushes Laskowski to third base, and Tom Norris is aboard with an error. Bringing Caden Feddick to the plate. And again, one of the mild surprises for me today is the Delisle lineup, that Feddick not batting first. Stolen base. They try the double steal, and they're nailed at home. They got them both. Oh, man. 2-4, and then 4 back to 2. A double steal and a double out. Norris took off for second, perhaps hoping to draw the throw to allow Laskowski a running start for home. They made the tag at second base, but Laskowski was not fleet enough to get home. What a turn of events. 2 out. Man, oh man. Swing and a miss by Fedek. Well, what an execution, precise execution by Murno Mariners. Instead of seeing runners at first and third, nobody out, there's 2 out, nobody on. Is it the most impressive play that we've seen in this tournament? It's pretty close. There was one yesterday where a man was thrown out at the plate, 8-4-2, perfect relay, and I believe that was the Galway Hitman who did it in the men's division. Forgive me, some of these games blur together. Fedek takes strike 3, and that's the inning. And what an inning it was. Laskowski worked a walk. A ground ball by Tom Norris to Austin Earl, the first baseman, was thrown delicately to where the infield meets the grass outfield, allowing Laskowski to get to third and putting Norris aboard with an error. And then didn't it unfold? Norris started for second, was thrown out, catcher to 4, 2-4 if you will. That was Green to Ryder Lewis, and then Lewis returned the throw home, and the tag was applied by Adrian Green to put out Laskowski. Have you ever seen a double steal get 2 men out? 1 man out, yes. No man out, yes. I've seen those. But I can say for the first time, I'm watching a double steal. So no runs, there were no hits, there was nobody left on base, thanks to that execution. We hope you're enjoying watching this on softballcanada.ca through CCDTV. The Kitchener Fastball Promotions, very proud to put on this event for Softball Canada. They call it the Grand Slam of tournaments. We have this U23 where we're in the playoffs, plus men's and masters. To that end, there are numerous corporations and individuals to thank. That includes Village Caterer, who's on site feeding us all during the course of the ball game. And if fans want good food, it's right there down the first base line, along with Hallman Construction. Just some of the people that have helped Kitchener Fastball Promotion put on this tournament. Base hit by the leadoff batter, Lyndon Power, the third baseman. So Murno, with that defensive excellence, seemingly has grabbed some momentum here in the bottom of the second. 1 on, nobody out. Due up for Murno here in the second inning. Lyndon Power is aboard with the base hit. Matthew King is at the plate now. He's the left fielder. And Nathan Peters, the shortstop, is up next. Nate Thiessen in the circle. Shows bunt, gets it down, fouls it off. Made contact. 4-3 was the score the first time these two teams met. So we're anticipating a fairly close game. We've already had a highlight defensive play. Does King square again? Yes, he does. Pulls the bat back, and it's called strike 2. So this changes the dynamic. And the question remains, will he get another bunt sign to try and move Power to second with nobody out right now? 0-2. Thiessen sets his back foot, fires. That's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. King did not square around in that case, so he'll be swinging away. Ritchie, the second baseman, at normal depth. This one is lofted. Under it is the left fielder for Delisle. Catch made by Ryan Bicknell. 1 down. That brings the middle infielders to the plate. Nathan Peters, the shortstop, is up now. Ryder Lewis, the second baseman, is on deck. 1 down, 1 on. Hey, how you doing? Good. Darcy wonders where you've been. Hard slam into left field. Bicknell will field it, and Power will stay at second. 2 on, 1 out. That brings the number 8 hitter, Ryder Lewis, to the plate. Scoreless game, bottom of the second. Murno Mariners representing Newfoundland in the blue. The Delisle, Saskatchewan Pride in the field wearing green with the white pants. Ryder Lewis. Two on, runners at first and second. Peters at first. Power at second. Outside for ball 1. Lewis gets the signal from third base, from the third base coach. Ball 1. Thiessen delivers. Hard into left field. Making the turn is Lyndon Power. Throw is going to come into third. It skips away, and there's nobody at first base. Jordan Durham had backed it up and had vacated his position. So a single and an RBI by Ryder Lewis opens the scoring. Power comes around to score. Peters moves to third base, and on the overthrow, Ryder Lewis goes to second. 1-0 for Murno, Newfoundland. And the number 9 hitter, Austin Earl, coming to the plate. Earl is the first baseman. All right, I'm going to address this right now. Lots of timeouts called here today. Up the middle. Fedek handles it, gets it across. Oh, and he tried the fake. So on a fielder's choice, everybody's safe. Peters comes in to score to make it 2-0. Lewis at second base. Fedek tried to fake it, and now we've got a man down. Austin Earl, I didn't see what happened to Austin, but he's in the outfield grass. If he tripped on the bag, he certainly went a long, long way afterwards. He is in shallow right field in the foul territory. Fedek did not get a clean handle on that ground ball by Earl. He cocked his arm like he was going to fire it to first base, but it really was a fake to see if he could catch Ryder Lewis napping. Lewis stepped off basically and then got right back on the bag. So Earl is up and will be at first base. First and second. Earl at first on the fielder's choice. Ryder Lewis at second. He singled for the RBI to make it 1-0. Went to second on the overthrow. Earl stretching his leg to see if he's all right. Seems to be fine. So that will turn the lineup over. And we've got some activity in the Delisle warm-up area. I can't see the number because there's a warm-up jacket on, but I'm going to assume it's Kobe Faubert. Another pitcher for Delisle is Davis Laskowski, and he is in right field at the moment. 1 out, 2 on. This is popped up and out of play. Lyndon Power opens the scoring. Nathan Peters also comes around to score. And in the bottom of the second, the Murno Mariners have it by a score of 2-0. And I think it bears repeating that Murno are the defending champions in this event. They went 3-3 in the round robin and finished 5th based on the tiebreaker. 3 teams finished at 3-3 in the round robin, including Murno. That ball is high. New Hamburg, Delisle, and Murno all went 3-3 in the round robin. The standings were determined based on run differential. Thiessen setting, That ball's called a strike. Two men are in, and Newfoundland, the Murno Mariners, threatening once again here. Thiessen gets the sign. And this one is belted into left field. Going way back is Bicknell. He will make the catch. Tagging at second is Lewis, and he'll get in there safely. Earl stayed at first base. So Ryan Bicknell in left field has made two putouts this inning. Here comes the catcher, Adrian Green. Two down and two on. Earl remaining at first. Ryder Lewis is at third. 2-0, Murno leads, looking to pad their lead. Thiessen delivers. That ball is high. Ball one. If Green extends things, that will bring the pitcher, Brody Frazier, to the plate. And I think that's the one thing that Delisle does not want. Ball two. In a good hitting position is Green with a 2-0 count. Called strike, two balls, one strike. Called strike two to even the count at 2-2. Want to remind everybody, if you're just joining us, I'm sure if you're a softball fan, you know this only too well. The Peter Hallman Ball Yard has 3 diamonds, and all 3 are active at this hour. This is a U23 playoff game, a 4-5 elimination game, Murno Mariners leading the Delisle Pride by a score of 2-0. There are 2 other games taking place in the men's division here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. Strike 3, and Thiessen gets the inning done with the strikeout, his second of the ball game. But Murno puts 2 on the board. For the Mariners, they had 3 hits in that inning. Single by Power, single by Peters, single by Lewis. And there also was an overthrow in there and a fielder's choice. So Murno leads it by a score of 2-0 after 2 innings of play. We go to the third. Due up for the Delisle Pride, center fielder Nick Fry, the designated player Evan Young, and the second baseman, that's Justin Ritchie. So as mentioned, we've got 2 other games in the men's division. You're watching what I would call a junior division, but we've all gone to numbers now, U23, because we don't want to offend any juniors out there. The Souk Loggers have a huge lead over the Josh Collins Racing Red, 5-0 in that game. And we'll just check it. It's the top of the second inning, so the Josh Collins Racing Red are at the plate, down 5-0 with 2 men out. The other game that's taking place, the Bear Creek Express, who are 2-0, are in against the East Hants Mastodons, who are also 2-0 in men's play. East Hants is at the plate with a 2-1 lead in the top of the second inning with 2 men out. We'll keep you up to date on those scores as we progress here, but our cameras are focused on the under-23 matchup between the Murno Mariners and the Delisle Pride. To the top of the third inning, and Murno has a 2-0 lead. Continued activity down the right field line for the Delisle Pride. And again, it's an assumption on my part that that's Kobe Faubert warming up. So we'll see if Nate Thiessen comes back for inning number 3. Brody Frazier has not pitched a perfect game. He has pitched a no-hitter. He walked a man, and another man got on an error, but he has only faced 6 batters. That double steal, double play is just going to stand out as a highlight. And in fact, such a highlight Take out my precious red pen and make the circle. Lots of activity here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. As Brody Fraser sets, top of the third inning. Nick Fry up. Ground ball to Ryder Lewis. Lewis will flip it on to first to Earl, and very quickly there's one down. Under 23 is in the playoff round, as you're watching. The men's round robin continues on two other diamonds here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard this morning, and the Masters will resume their tournament coming up at about 1:15 this afternoon. Evan Young, designated player, at the plate. He grounds it towards third base and foul. Young is the designated player this morning. Played a lot of third base in this tournament as well. It's been 7 up, 7 down for Saskatchewan in a manner in which you would not expect. If I told you 7 up, 7 down, and they've had two base runners, you might think I'm conjuring things here, but that's as accurate as I can be. One down, nobody on. Top of the third inning. Delisle Pride looking to come back, trailing 2-0 here against the Murno Mariners. Called strike. So very quickly, Fraser has a 0-2 count in his favor. Young looking to get something started for the Delisle Pride. Bottom third of the Saskatchewan order. Fraser working a little quicker now. Low. Ball one. No debate from the catcher, nor from Fraser, who does the semicircle walk. Sets his foot almost middle of the slab. Back foot into the thrust hole. Ooh, Young thought about it. He thought about it. 2-2 is the count. One down, nobody on. Ryder Lewis instructing his right fielder. And it's drilled right to Lewis. So Ryder Lewis was having a conversation with Jared Pico, positioning him, and Lewis couldn't have been any better positioned as that ball was lined right into his mitt. The number 9 hitter for Delisle, Justin Ritchie, the second baseman, is at the plate. No runs, no hits for Delisle through 8 batters. They did have a threat, first and third, nobody out, but managed to run themselves into a double play. Two down and nobody on for Delisle. There's a ball that's high. Mentioned Pico is in right field. Shifts just a little bit as Ritchie swings through. The center fielder is Mark Corbett for Murno. And in left field today, Matthew King. Power is going to doctor the ball. Make sure that his pitcher is ready to go. Both Fraser and Power having a discussion. Fraser delivers. Swing. Fouled off. So that keeps Ritchie alive at the plate. Once again, it's Power who's going to do the the caressing of the ball. I think Power and Fraser just want to have a chat. Power back at third base. Not quite on the line. A few steps inside. Fraser now sets, trying to get through the inning. There's a ball to Ritchie. If Ritchie can get on, it'll put us back to the top of the order where Ryan Bicknell is up. Two nothing, Murno leading. Delisle with 2 outs, and we have another timeout. I think the pitch clock in Major League Baseball has been a marvelous invention. I'm saying with this game, we could probably use it as well. Multiple timeouts. Ball high. Fraser trying desperately not to lose him. Justin Ritchie, second baseman, up with 2 strikes and 2 out. This is popped up. Fraser is going to call for it, and the pitcher will put it out. So that ends the inning, 1-2-3 again. And through 2.5, the Murno Mariners are leading the Delisle Pride by a score of 2-0. Murno 2 runs on 3 hits. Delisle no runs on no hits as we go to the bottom of the third. Due up for the Mariners is Brody Fraser, followed by Mitchell Whalen and Lyndon Power. Power had the opening run in the ball game. Here are the final standings from the U23 round robin. The Rostock Junior Batmen were first in this event. They went 5-1. They were 5-0, but they lost their last outing. The Tavistock Merchants, who started the tournament with just an unbelievable loss against Delisle, Saskatchewan, an extra inning affair that was tied on an inside the park home run and then won on a 3-run homer when Delisle was down. Nevertheless, Tavistock finished second, and they are 4-2 after the round robin. Then we had 3 teams tied at 3-3. New Hamburg Mustangs, Delisle Pride, and the Murno Mariners. New Hamburg will get third place based on the run differential. They were +3. Delisle gets fourth. Their run differential was -1. And Murno gets fifth. Their run differential was -16. And ironically, the biggest factor there probably was a 9-2 loss to Shallow Lake, who did not make the playoffs. Equipe Quebec, they finished in the number 6 spot at 2-4. And as mentioned, Shallow Lake eliminated, going 1-5. Back to the action, fouled off by the pitcher Brody Fraser. I've been highly impressed with the durability of Max Major behind the plate for the Delisle Pride. He has been stung by foul balls. He's been hit by a pitch when he was batting, and he just took another one basically off the inside of the leg. Fraser walked his first time up. Hits this one, lines it right to the third baseman, Tom Norris, and there's one down. That brings Mitchell Whalen to the plate. Whalen is the catcher. He struck out in his first at bat. Pardon me, Whalen is not the catcher. He's number 2. He is the designated player. My apologies to Adrian Green, who is the catcher, number 22. There's another rule I'm going to implement. No ball player can wear a jersey with a number that is corresponding to a field position. Therefore, no 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. You can wear 10 and beyond. How's that? One down. Nate Thiessen delivers. Swing through by Whalen. Bottom of the third inning. Murno leading here. Again, we have men's action taking place on the other diamonds, and we'll keep you up to date as the morning unfolds here in Kitchener. We are in Kitchener, Ontario. Kitchener Fastball Promotions putting on this event. Changeup. Dips for a ball. Peter Hallman Ball Yard being used exclusively for the remainder of the week, but Bud Park was utilized yesterday for all of the Masters games. Thiessen delivers. That's low. 2-2 is the count on Mitchell Whalen. He struck out in his first at bat to end the first inning. Whalen digs in. There's the pitch. He thought about it. Called strike 3. Pardon me. Called strike 2. Lost track of the count. Sure, a real professional would have nailed that. I will say in my defense, there is no scoreboard here that keeps track of that. Now he's walked.
I'll move to the left a bit.
Second walk that Nate Thiessen has issued on the day. That brings Lyndon Power to the plate. He singled into left field back in the second inning to lead it off. Would come around to score to make it 1-0 on the RBI by Ryder Lewis. Thiessen with one on, one out, outside. In that second inning, Power singled, King flied out to left field, Peters followed with a single, and then Ryder Lewis would drive in the run to begin with. Then on a fielder's choice for Austin Earl, the second run would come in. This one is slammed into center field. Nick Fry will grab it and get it back into the infield. So Power is 2 for 2. And moving to second base is Whalen. Brings Matthew King to the plate. King 0 for 1. He flied out to Ryan Bicknell back in the second inning in his last at bat. 0 for 1. First and second for Murno as they're threatening again. Interestingly, the activity for Delisle in terms of a pitcher warming up has been quelled. Thiessen delivers. There's a strike, strike one. On deck is the shortstop, Nathan Peters. Thiessen looking in at the left-handed swinging King. King went opposite field. Thiessen finally delivers. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes. Runners at first and second for the Murno Mariners of Newfoundland. They have a 2-0 lead and are looking to add to it. Thiessen pitches, ground ball. Ritchie will make the tag for one, get it to first for the second one. Double play. 4-4-3 if you're scoring, and that ends the inning. So there's been some pretty good defense here, and as good as that was by Justin Ritchie, it was kind of pale in comparison to what Newfoundland did in the second inning. Delisle tried to execute a double steal, and they were gunned down. Catcher to middle infielder back to the catcher, erasing first Norris and then Laskowski on the same play. To the fourth inning we go. We want to thank a lot of people for their sponsorship. That includes McCarter Grespin Lawyers and Montana's Barbecue and Bar. Montana's Barbecue and Bar making sure that we've been well fed during the course of this event. Let's take a look at what else is happening this hour in the men's division. The Josh Collins Racing Red are taking on the Souk Loggers. 5-0 for Souk in the top of the third inning. The Josh Collins Racing Red at the plate with nobody out and one man on first base. Meanwhile, in the other game, the Bear Creek Express have come from behind, and they have a lead over the East Hants Mastodons of Nova Scotia. 3-2 in the top of the third inning there with one man out and East Hants at the plate. Again, this is all happening at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard, put on by the Kitchener Fastball Promotions. We thank one and all, certainly the volunteers, for making this an extremely smooth event. Top of the fourth inning, due up for the Delisle Pride will be the top of the order, Ryan Bicknell, Jordan Durham, and Max Major. Bicknell 0 for 1, struck out looking in the first inning to lead off the game. Top of the fourth inning, Murno with the 2-0 lead. This is game C3 for Softball Canada's U23 championship. Called strike. No debate from Bicknell on this one. Winner advances. The loser is eliminated. So somebody is either going back to Saskatchewan or Newfoundland based on the result in this game. One strike pitch. He bunts it nicely. It's grabbed by Power, gets it across. Got him. Lyndon Power has been a defensive tower at third base for Newfoundland in this tournament. He's made any number of good plays, and there was another one. The bunt by Bicknell was very good, maybe 8 to 10 feet along the third baseline. Power pounced on it, gets it across to Austin Earl, and there's one down. Brody Frazier is the pitcher for Murno. Now we'll go against Jordan Durham. Durham 0 for 1. He grounded out to second baseman Ryder Lewis earlier in the game. Brody Fraser has faced 10 batters, the minimum. And again, I'm probably going to be overly repetitive on this, as this one has popped into left field. Going back is the shortstop, Peters. And again, my vision is obscured, but somebody's got it. And I believe it's the left fielder who made the catch. 2 down. And for the second time, we've got an injured player for Newfoundland. Matthew King is down on his backside after colliding with Nathan Peters as they both went after that pop-up. So 11 up and 11 down for Brody Fraser. He has given up a walk, and Tom Norris got on via an error, but they were both erased by that nifty double steal, double play. Delisle tried to execute a double steal, and Murno executed a double putout or a double play. It's a right-hander warming up down on the far side. The jersey is off. I believe that's number 11, Kobe Faubert. All good with Newfoundland. Brings Max Major to the plate. Left fielder Matthew King back in place after that mini collision. Just checking my lineup card, and number 11 is in fact Kobe Faubert. Right-handed pitcher warming up. 2-0 Murno, 2 out, nobody on, top of the 4th inning. Murno leading it by a pair. Brody Fraser gets it in. Major swings hard but swings through. Missing on the changeup. Updated score from the men's division. Souk Loggers continue to lead over the Josh Collins Racing Red. 5-3 is the score now. Souk had jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Called strike, 2 strikes on Major. He struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Brody Fraser sets again. Fouled off at the plate. Catcher and catcher with an exchange. Major, the catcher at the plate. Green, the catcher for the Murno Mariners. A little bit of a longer walk here for Brody Fraser. Doctoring his uniform. And now will take his place on the slab. 2 down for Delisle. Looking to get something going. They definitely had something going 2 innings ago, but were just stymied in their double steal attempt. Major takes a ball. Trying to figure out a pattern for Brody Fraser. A lot of times after the pitch, he walks the semicircle, going to his right. That time he went straight back. Called a ball. Fraser trying to eliminate Max Major at the plate for the 2nd time. Getting a little darker here in Kitchener. I don't want to be the harbinger of bad news. Fouled off again. The wind is not as stiff as it's been over the course of a couple of days to this point, but it's definitely starting to pick up, and it appears it's coming from the west today. For most of the tournament, it's been coming from the north, based on the flagpoles beyond the beverage tent in right field. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 strikeouts for Brody Fraser. Through 4 innings, he has not been touched for a hit. Bottom of the 4th inning, Murno Mariners lead it by a score of 2-0. For Murno, they have 2 runs on 4 hits. Meanwhile, for Delisle, no runs on no hits, nobody left on base. And again, if you missed the double steal attempt earlier in the affair, you certainly missed something. Here's the path that the two teams have taken to get here. The Delisle Pride, who finished fourth, won their opening game in extra innings over Tavistock. They were mercied by the Rostock Junior Batmen. They defeated Quebec in a somewhat sloppy game by a score of 12-7, and then turned around and lost to New Hamburg in a game that they had 2 outs and were 1 out away from winning, losing that one in extra innings. They also lost to Murner yesterday and then finished the round robin with a 10-8 win over the Shallow Lake Sting. So their record 3-3. As for the Murno Mariners, here's their route to the playoffs as defending champions. They came from behind to beat Quebec in and lost to Shallow Lake 9-2, so they were 1-2 at that point, and then they rallied to win their remaining games, beating Delisle and beating Rostock in their final match last night to finish the tournament at 3-3.
Leading off from Monroe in the bottom of the fourth, the shortstop, Nathan Peters.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Nathan Peters is coming to the plate. Peters 1 for 1, singled, went to third on the single by Ryder Lewis, and would come around and score on the fielder's choice by Austin Earl. Nate Thiessen back to pitch in spite of the warm-ups that have been taking place down the right field line for Delisle. Guns in, pitch number 1 for a strike. There's a strike. If you're wondering why I'm not talking, I'm just attending to some personal business. Leaf tickets. This one is bounced in. Peters again 1 for 1. I am proud to tell you that I have tickets to see the Toronto Maple Leafs, the future Stanley Cup champions, against the Pittsburgh Penguins and the New Jersey Devils. Those games coming up in December. Now we can get back to fastball. It's too bad when life interrupts fastball, but we had to get that looked after. Strike 3 called, and Nathan Peters is erased. For Nate Thiessen, that's his 3rd strikeout on the ball game. Here comes Ryder Lewis, who's having a pretty good game, both defensively and at the plate. Singled and drove in the first run. 1 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Murno Mariners leading by a score of 1-0. If you're wondering, Leaf tickets are extremely expensive. But as I told you earlier in our broadcast, Bank of Nova Scotia is having a tremendous week, so life is good. 1 ball. Called strike 1. Left-handed swinger, Ryder Lewis to the plate. 1-1 the count. Nate Thiessen into the 4th inning for Delisle. That's low and outside. If Lewis gets aboard, the first baseman Austin Earl will come to the plate. The Tavistock Merchants have made their way into the ballpark. They'll play in the next game, which is scheduled to go at 11 o'clock this morning. Having said that, I think if the possibility exists that they could move that game up, they will do it. Simply because our weather, I wouldn't say is threatening, but it's not promising. How's that? Called strike 2. 2 strikes on Ryder Lewis. Lewis, the number 8 batter in the lineup. He has the RBI. He drove in Lyndon Power to make it 1-0. Peters, who's been erased this inning, has the other run. Fouled off. Temperature today, not hot, not cold. But again, we are into late August. Today being the 28th. And I'll say it again, 10 minutes ago it was April. Walk issued. That's the third walk that's been issued by Nate Thiessen. Austin Earl comes to the plate. Earl grounded to the shortstop, Caden Fedek, in the second inning. There was a runner at second at the time, so Fedek faked the throw to first, trying to get Ryder Lewis off second. Lewis wouldn't bite, and so Earl got aboard there. 1 out, 1 on, fouled away. The Delisle Pride have some very nice gray hoodies, and I can see 6 or 7 of them just behind home plate to the first base side. They haven't had much to cheer about today. Down 2-0. This is popped up. Will it stay in play? Jordan Durham drifts over, and he gets it. So that's 2 down, and it brings the top of the order to the plate. This is Mark Corbett. Corbett is the leadoff hitter for the Murno Mariners. Center fielder has flied out to right, has flied out to left. So if you're Nick Fry in center field, you've got to believe that it's your turn. 2 down, 1 on. Ryder Lewis is at first. Ball high. Again, our 11 o'clock game is the Rostock Junior Batmen, who were the first place team, against the Tavistock Merchants, who were the second place team. Swing and a miss by Corbett. Rostock went 5-1 in the tournament. Tavistock 4-2. If Rostock is here, I don't see them, but we are about an hour away from scheduled game time. Tavistock very visible down the first base line. 2 balls, 1 strike. Thiessen trying to get out of the inning. Scoreless first, gave up 2 in the second. Scoreless third. If Corbett should get alive and extend the inning, then Adrian Green, the catcher, would come up. That's down the pipe for a strike. Corbett looking all the way, and now has got 2 strikes on him. Thiessen has struck out 3 in the ball game, 1 each inning. Whalen in the first, Green in the second, and here in the fourth, Nathan Peters. Wild pitch, high, which allows Ryder Lewis to get into second. Ball 4, and that's 4 walks for Thiessen in the ball game. 4 hits for Murno, 4 walks for Murno. Adrian Green to the plate, 0 for 2. Flied out to Ryan Bicknell in left field, struck out swinging in the second. Now up here in the fourth, his team with a 2-0 lead. Nate Thiessen will set, and again they call timeout. I'm not sure if this is rattling Thiessen, and I'm not prepared to say that it's just Murno doing it, but there have been far too many timeouts granted here. This has popped up, and it's going to be a tough play. Fedek goes back and gets it. So Caden Fedek makes the putout. He made it look a lot easier than I maybe assumed it would be. No runs, no hits. The Murno offense, though, has been clicking through the game. They've had runners on base in all 4 innings. And after 4 innings, they lead it 2-0. For Murno, 2 runs on 4 hits. They have also drawn 4 walks. For the Delisle Pride, no runs on no hits as we get to the 5th inning. The Softball Canada U23, Softball Canada Men's, and the Softball Canada Masters tournaments are here in Kitchener at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard, and also yesterday for a portion at Bud Park. It's being put on by the Kitchener Fastball Promotions, and they would like to thank everybody connected to sponsoring and supporting this event. That includes MTE Consultants, along with the folks at Iron Horse Financial Solutions. A lot of support to make this all possible. Again, this is an elimination game as we hit the 5th inning of Game C3. Delisle Pride coming to the plate. Luskowski, Norris, and Fedek to go 1-2-3. The winner of this game advances to play later in the day. They will play at approximately, or scheduled for 3:30, again, weather permitting. The loser of this game is eliminated. The championship games, I should add, will be decided tomorrow. There will be a bronze medal game and then the gold medal game. Just after 10 o'clock. We're ready to go here. Last warm-up pitch. Green will fire it down to his shortstop. Earl has it now across to Power. Back to Peters, over to Lewis, and around the horn we go. They're going to play catch with it until Brody Frazier is ready to go. Davis Laskowski is in. He walked in the second inning, went to second and third on the error at first base by Austin Earl, and then was erased when Murno executed a perfect double play on an attempted double steal by the Saskatchewan entry. It happened, trust me, it happened a lot faster than I can explain it. First pitch is high. Swing and a miss. Fouling it off. Maybe not a miss, fouled it off. Looking at the line for Brody Frazier, it is extremely efficient. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout. Walk, error, double play, strikeout. Ground out, line drive out, pop-up out, ground out, left field catch, strikeout. 12 up, 12 down, and he's trying to make it 13 in a row here with Davis Laskowski. Laskowski has homered on multiple occasions in this tournament, so he's got a strong bat, batting cleanup in this particular game, playing right field. He's pitched, been the designated player, takes that for a strike. Not necessarily agreeing with the call. Brody Frazier now will take his set on the slab. Frazier and the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Fouled off again. 2 strikes. Tom Norris is on deck. Norris was the hero in Delisle's first game victory over the Tavistock Merchants. Delisle was down to their last out, down by a run, and Norris hit an inside the park home run to tie the game. He was the hero for the moment, let's put it that way. Tavistock would go up by a run in extra innings, and then Laskowski would win it. And here, Davis Laskowski has hit one into right field. So a little life for Delisle in the top of the 5th inning. Here comes Norris. Norris grounded to Austin Earl in the 2nd inning. Earl, rather than stepping on the bag, elected to try for the double play and overthrew the shortstop, Nathan Peters. Just a little update. I believe that's the Rostock junior batman coming into the ballpark now. They are going to play in the next game scheduled for 11. Norris takes a strike. Rostock lost their last game yesterday, losing to the Murno Mariners by a score of 9-7. There's a ball that's high. We'll do another quick update at the end of the half inning to bring you up to speed on what's happening in the 2 men's games that are taking place at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. Bear Creek Express playing the East Hants Mastodons. Both of those teams 2-0 after yesterday. This is popped up. Power is going to call for it. And there's one down. The other game taking place in the men's division, the Souk Loggers in against the Josh Collins Racing Red. Souk, British Columbia went 1-1 yesterday. Josh Collins Racing Red 0-2. Here comes Caden Feddick, 0-1 in the ball game. He struck out looking to end the 2nd inning. That coming after the double steal attempt that was turned into a double play by Murno. Ground ball, it's fair. Power blocks it, and he'll get it across the diamond. No, it's called foul. It stayed fair, but the ball had hit Kadick on the shin, and so very quickly the umpire called it. I was watching the ball. I should have been watching the umpire. 1 out, 1 on. Top of the 5th inning, Delisle down by 2. The Pride looking to get something mustered here. They thought they had something going in the second. First and third with nobody out. Called strike. And FedEx Theatrics are probably going to be wearing thin on the umpire. 2 strikes on him. He looked to the heavens after that call. He struck out looking his last at bat, and I'd suggest if this is close, he better be swinging. And it's not close, it's high. And they called time at first base. The first base umpire called time. And I'm not sure what the occasion was to call time. No balls, 2 strikes. So who called timeout there, and what was the occasion for it? 1 out, 1 on. Frazier throws it. This is fouled off. So FedEx stays alive. And I'm going to say this for Caden Fedek, based on his animated stance at the plate after strike calls. If he wants to make a friend of the umpire, needs to cut that out. And 2, he has to be alert that if this ball is anywhere close, I have a feeling it's going to be called strike. Do I see umbrellas going up? Yes, I do. Well, we made it to the 5th inning, folks. Frazier rocks. Swing and a miss. 5th strikeout on the ball game. 2nd time that Fedek has gone down. And there's 2 down with Laskowski at first. That brings the center fielder, Nick Fry, to the plate. Again, just looking at the first base seats, the umbrellas have come out. Frazier sets, rocks. Fires ball 1. Sky is gray, little darker to the north of us. The Waterloo weather pattern. Frazier delivers. That's fouled off. 1-1 is the count. Fry, who's the number 7 hitter in the lineup, desperately needs to get something going. Delisle down to 7 outs. Oh, we're getting another update on these Leaf tickets. How good is my life on a Thursday? Here's the pitch. Called a ball. Frazier will walk around the semicircle on the third base side, looking to dispatch Nick Fry to end the 5th inning. Fry looking to extend it. Fouled it off. He extended the at-bat. If Fry can keep it alive, then Evan Young will come up. Young went out in his first time, lining a ball into a perfectly positioned Ryder Lewis at second base. Fry with the upright stance. Frazier in the circle for Murno. And this is launched into center field. Center fielder makes a nice play out there. Gets it in. The 2 cutoff men looked at each other after Corbett fielded it. So for the 2nd time in the game, the Delisle Pride have runners at first and third. There are 2 out. Fry with the single, advancing Laskowski to third. Evan Young to the plate. Little bit of drama here. 2nd time in the game that Delisle has runners at first and third. The first time there was nobody out in the second, and they got victimized by an excellent double play off an attempted double steal. Now they've got 2 men out, and Evan Young to the plate. Inside. The umbrellas and the motion in the ballpark tell me that we've got some rain. I'm going to say that it's drizzle at the moment. Frazier to Young. Young takes ball 2. Let's see what our weather pattern says. called a ball. For Kitchener, rain is forecast for the next hour. 100% chance of rain at 11 o'clock. So that's all we really need to know. And my precious phone is telling me that rain is in the forecast until 5 p.m. So a walk to Evan Young. Pay attention, Fred. Second walk issued by Brody Fraser, and that loads the bases with 2 men out. It brings Justin Ritchie to the plate. Ritchie, the second baseman, popped up to the pitcher, Brody Fraser, in his first appearance, and Newfoundland's going to have a conference. Well, this is your fulcrum part of the ball game. Murno leading 2-0, top of the 5th inning, 2 out, but bases loaded. A base hit by Josh Ritchie conceivably could tie this ball game. An out for Brody Fraser, and the Mariners could end the inning, or will end the inning. A lot of possibilities. And again, at a current time, 10:45, I'm being told 100% chance of rain in 45 minutes. To this point, we've got some drizzle already. Our cameras for Conestoga College Digital TV are being wrapped up. Josh Ritchie standing in. Takes strike one. We will concentrate on the ball game and the ball game only for the next moment, but I can tell you there's lots of things happening at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. Fraser with a strike on Ritchie. Second pitch. It's high. For Delisle, a wild pitch wouldn't be the worst thing, but Fraser has shown no indication to fire wild. Walk is as good as a hit. It's conceivable to be an RBI. Strikeout would be dandy. Depends on your perspective. 2 strikes on Josh Ritchie. So he's got to shorten up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You can hear some Newfoundland fans rooting for Brody Fraser. The Delisle fans, a little tense. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Stays alive. Fraser continues to fidget with his uniform. Might just be a habit. Josh Ritchie standing in. His team is down 2-0. Murno Mariners leading the Delisle Pride 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. 2 out, bases loaded. We'll let the crowd take it from here. Ritchie being pesky, fouled it off. It's like watching the waves in Lake Huron. They come in, you get excited, fouled off, trough. We'll start to crest again and we'll listen to the fans. Fouled off again. 5 strikes to Justin Ritchie. He's fouled off the last 3 to stay alive. Can he find some space in the infield? Can he find some green in the outfield to get Delisle on the board? Or is Brody Fraser about to set him down? Fouled off again. It's like the night Davis Snyder for the Toronto Blue Jays stayed alive for 13 pitches. He eventually went out, but because the pitcher was so worn out from the battle, he offered up a hit to the Blue Jays. Justin Ritchie, the second baseman for Delisle, is up with the bases loaded, 2 men out. Murno leading Delisle 2-0. Top of the 5th inning. And called timeout. got a rule for Softball Canada based on this game. I'll tell you about that rule in a minute. Fouled off, naturally. The new rule for Softball Canada, we'll call it the Fred Wallace rule, is that when the pitcher steps on the slab, he cannot step off, and when the batter steps into the batter's box, he cannot call time. We've had just far too many delays here. Fraser on the slab. Ritchie at the plate. He's fouled off 5 in a row. Takes a ball. Good eye exhibited by Ritchie to extend the at-bat. Fraser will do the Fraser walk. Halfway around the circle. Back to the middle of the slab. 2 strikes on Justin Ritchie. Ball high. Called strike. I thought that was a ball until I heard the Newfoundland crowd explode. So Justin Ritchie goes down looking. No runs for Murno. They got 2 hits, their first 2 hits on the ball game, and they left 3 men on base. So after 4 1/2, with Murno coming to the plate, they lead it 2-0. Murno 2 runs on 4 hits. They have walked 4 times. For Delisle Pride, no runs. They had 2 hits that inning. Nate Thiessen back in the circle to pitch for the Delisle Pride. All right, let's go to the men's games that are taking place here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. The big game is Bear Creek Express against the East Hants Mastodons out of Nova Scotia. Bear Creek representing one of the Ontario teams. Bear Creek is leading in the bottom of the 5th inning, 3-2. Bear Creek is at the plate, nobody on, nobody out. The other game that's taking place is a game between the Souk Loggers from British Columbia and the Josh Collins Racing Red out of Newfoundland. Josh Collins 0-2 in the tournament to this point. Souk 1-1. The BC Loggers got off to the great start. They led 5-0. They currently lead in the top of the 5th inning, 6-3. The Josh Collins Racing Red are at the plate. Nobody on, 1 out. And again, we'll keep you up to date on those scores as the day unfolds. In front of us, it's the bottom of the 5th inning. The Murno Mariners to the plate with the 2-0 lead over the Delisle Pride. Here's the pitcher, Brody Fraser, at the plate to face Nate Thiessen, his opposite. Fouled off. Again, umbrellas visible here in the ballpark. The sky is not black over the ballpark here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. It is cloudy. There is no sun to speak of, but I don't see what you would call a rain cloud. But again, they're telling me 35 minutes, there's a 100% chance of rain. Fouled off again by Brody Fraser, 2 strikes. So, strikeout swinging for Thiessen. That's his 4th strikeout of the game.
Switch one out, the batter is the designated player. Number 2, Mitchell Whalen.
Darcy and I having a little chat here. Conestoga College Digital TV bringing you the live stream. It's been an active day. I've got Darcy here on my left. Swing by Mitchell Whalen. I've got Leaf tickets coming in on the phone. I've got a weather pattern to my right, and directly in front of me, I've got a pretty good ball game. 2-0 Murno Mariners leading the Delisle Saskatchewan Pride. Mitchell Whalen is at the plate. There's a ball. 1 out as Brody Fraser struck out. Nobody scrambling to leave the ballpark. Just some umbrellas have been placed up. Ball 2, up and high. Murno has 4 hits in the ball game. They got 3 of them in the 2nd inning when they put up their 2 runs. Lyndon Power and Nathan Peters both had hits. Both came around to score. Ryder Lewis had a single and an RBI. That's one's bounced in there for ball 3. Nate Thiessen has been pretty tidy, but again, in every inning, Murno has put a man on base. Called strike. Frazier walked and got to second in the first. Murno got their 2 runs in the second. Whalen and Power both got on in the third. Lewis and Corbett got on in the fourth. Called strike 3. 5 strikeouts in the game, and Lyndon Power comes to the plate. Power, who has been very impressive defensively as a third baseman in this tournament, is having a very good game at the plate today. Batting in the number 5 position, he's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, scored the opening run, which is standing as the go-ahead run. We're about 90 minutes into this one. In the bottom of the 5th inning, 2 out. Murno at the plate, leading 2-0. Lofted into center field. Fry gets a running start on it, and he'll snare it. And a 1-2-3 inning. First of the game for Nate Thiessen. To the 6th inning we go, with the Delisle Pride coming to the plate, trailing 2-0. It's the top of the Delisle order. Ryan Bicknell, Jordan Durham, and Max Major to the plate. 1-2-3 is what you want when you want to try and get a rally. Having said that, Brody Frazier has been very effective against those 3. They are combined 0 for 6. Among the sponsors and supporters that we have for our tournament, which is being put on by Kitchener Fastball Promotions, Conestoga College, as we mentioned, Conestoga College Digital TV here today, and Expressway Ford of New Hamburg. And I know I've said this before, but if you're in the Kitchener area, you've probably seen the New Hamburg vehicle. It's a custom imaged or logoed vehicle that looks kind of like a baseball. First time I saw it, I went, look at this baseball. Oh, it's a van. It's the New Hamburg Mustangs. New Hamburg will play this afternoon, scheduled for 1:15, against Equipe Quebec. That, too, is an elimination game. The winner of that game will advance to play at 3:30 in the afternoon, scheduled, and the loser will be eliminated. Similar scenario to what you're watching here this morning. Murno Mariners leading the Delisle Pride 2-0. The winner of this game advances to play, scheduled at 3:30 this afternoon. The loser of this game is eliminated. So somebody might be going east, somebody might be going west, but only one of them will go in somewhere. Brody Frazier continues in the pitching circle, and why not? He's given up just 2 hits, a single to the cleanup hitter Davis Laskowski, and a single by Nick Fry. He's walked 2 men in the ball game, and another man got on base basically on a fielder's choice error. Ryan Bicknell to the plate, 0 for 2 in the game, struck out looking in the first inning, grounded out to Ryan Power. Lyndon Power, grounded out to Lyndon Power in the 4th inning. Somewhere in Newfoundland, there has to be a prominent Ryan Power. Who's the hockey player? Lyndon Power is at third base here. In the pitching circle is Brody Frazier here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. Umbrellas up, but I don't see a great deal of precipitation. This has popped up on the bunt attempt. Frazier says, I'm going to take it. And for the second time in the ball game, Brody Frazier has made a putout on a pop-up. Bicknell trying to advance or trying to get on via the walk. That brings the first baseman, Jordan Durham, to the plate. Number 14, first baseman for Delisle. He, too, is 0 for 2. Grounded out to Ryder Lewis in the first. Flied out to the left fielder, Matthew King. That back in the 4th inning. 1 down in the 6th, nobody on. Clock starting to tick, if you will, on the Delisle Pride. They've got 5 outs remaining to try and manufacture some offense. Murno defeated Delisle in their game yesterday by a score of 4-3. Strike called on Jordan Durham. A gain by run differential, not head-to-head. Delisle was the number 4 team. Murno number 5. Down the first base line, but foul. Fielded by Pico in right field. Given back to Lewis, to Earl, and Fraser has a new ball in his mitt. So 2 strikes on Jordan Durham. 1 down, nobody on. The Delisle Pride trailing by a score of 2-0. Murno, the defending champions, looking to run the table here again. Ground ball, Power snares it. It's called a fair ball, and once again, Lyndon Power makes an outstanding play at third base. For Power in the game, that's only his second chance to field one. The first one in the 4th inning on a grounder by Ryan Bicknell was pretty good because he picked up the bunt and got it across. In this case, on Durham, he had to go to his right and throw across his body. 2 down, Max Major, the catcher, up for Delisle. Ball on the outside. Two down, and there's nobody on for the Delisle Pride. They trail it by 2. Major swings, fouls it off. Got a piece of it. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out swinging in the first, struck out swinging in the 4th. He was the 2nd and 4th strikeout victim for Brody Fraser. Fraser has struck out 6 through 5 2/3 innings here today. Tavistock warming up just to the outside of the first base line, getting ready for their game scheduled for 11. Max Major trying to get something started, get it started with 2 out. Major, the catcher, looks at Fraser, the pitcher. And he hammers it by Lewis, and he gets the hit. Corbett will get it in center field and very swiftly will run it back into the infield. 3rd hit in the ball game for the Delisle Pride, which brings the cleanup hitter Davis Laskowski to the plate. Laskowski has power. He's homered on multiple occasions in this tournament. A dinger here would be just what the doctors in Delisle ordered. 1 on, 2 out. Major at first. Laskowski in. Fraser the pitch. Down to the shortstop. Peters throws it across and they make the force. Peters to Lewis and the 4th out. And Delisle might want to argue this in some way, shape, or form, but I think it was pretty clear that Lewis was on the bag. No runs, 1 hit. Through 5 1/2, the Murno Mariners have a 2-0 lead over the Delisle Pride. Murno, 2 runs on 4 hits. For Delisle, no runs on 3 hits. If we're doing some foreshadowing here, the 3 hits for Delisle have all come in the last 2 innings. Tom Norris, Caden Feddick, and Nick Fry will try and keep things alive for Delisle in the 7th. We have to get to the bottom of the 6th where Murno, Newfoundland, the Mariners, will try and pad their lead. It will be Matthew King, Nathan Peters, and Ryder Lewis. Here's a look at our flow chart today. The game that you're looking at is the Monroe Mariners leading the Delisle Pride 2-0. The winner of this game will advance to play at 3:30. The loser of this game will be eliminated. The game at 3:30 will be the winner against the winner of the 3rd game today, New Hamburg Mustangs against Quebec. That game scheduled for 1:15 this afternoon. So the winner of Murno Delisle will go against the winner of New Hamburg Quebec. The loser of those games are both eliminated. Then the winners will play each other later in the day today, scheduled for 3:30. The loser of that game will be eliminated, and the winner will survive. Rostock and Tavistock will play in our next game. The winner of that game will advance to the championship game. The loser of that game will be relegated to the back door and will play whoever survives out of Murnau, Delisle, New Hamburg, and Quebec. Are you with me? It's all available, by the way, on softball.ca. And our thanks to Game Changer, terrific app for following fastball. Top of the 6th inning, scoreless for Delisle. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and Matthew King was scheduled to step in, but we do have a pinch hitter. This is Power. Takes a ball. And we'll just check the Newfoundland lineup. Pardon me, this is Josh Kennedy. So Kennedy will pinch hit for King. Called strike. So Murnau, with the insertion of a pinch hitter, trying to get something going here. Ball high and outside. As mentioned, we're at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. There are 3 games taking place. This is an under-23 elimination game. Murnau leading Delisle, Saskatchewan 2-0. So Kennedy gets the job done. He draws a walk. 5th walk issued today by Nate Thiessen. There are 2 men's games taking place at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard as we speak. And we'll update you on Souk, Josh Collins, that game, and East Hants against Bear Creek during the next half-inning break. 1 on, nobody out. Nice bunt by Peters. Fielded by Norris, and he gets it across nicely, 5-4. But the sacrifice is effective, and Peters nearly was able to beat it out. King goes into second, 1 out. Peters the sacrifice. Nice play by the third baseman, Tom Norris, and an equally good play by Justin Ritchie at second base to catch that ball, which was below his belt. Ryder Lewis is up now for Murnau, Newfoundland. Lewis in the ball game, singled and walked. 1 for 1. Has an RBI. Drove in the first run, which is standing as the go-ahead run. Pitch by Thiessen, called strike. After Lewis, Austin Earl is due up. Thiessen gets the sign. Sets his back foot, rocks, and delivers. That's high. Matthew King is at second base for the Murnau Mariners, representing not just insurance, but a little bit of a cushion run. There's 1 out. He got there by virtue of a walk and a sacrifice bunt. Yeah, I'm going to go to the softball committee, or Softball Canada Rules Committee, and this is going to be my suggestion. When the batter sets his feet, he's in there. Called strike. Lewis didn't agree. He thought it was inside. Tense moment in the ball game. Delisle has to shut it down and seal it off. They have not scored in the ball game. They need 2 in the 7th at least. So we have another timeout. A conference between pitcher-catcher is why the timeout was called. The umpire comes out to monitor the discussion. Thiessen and Major have concluded their meeting. Lewis now is going to go back into the batter's box. And we're right back where we started from. Again, just a huge delay here before Thiessen sets. Pitch is high. Lewis has been on both times in the ball game. He's also made a couple of sterling defensive plays in this game as well. The signal is delivered. Ground ball. Thiessen will field it, get it over to Durham, but the runner advances. Not a sacrifice, but now Matthew King, or pardon me, Josh Kennedy, is at third base for the Murnau Mariners. The number 9 hitter in the order, Austin Earl, is coming to the plate. There's 2 out and a runner at third. The cushion run, we'll call it, would be Josh Kennedy. Austin Earl takes a strike. One strike, 2 down, runner at third, 2-0 Murnau leading. That pitch is high. Major did a good job to snare it, because a wild pitch would be great for Murnau, would be disaster for Delisle. Here's the pitch, fouled off. Austin Earl in the game got aboard on a fielder's choice. He grounded to the shortstop, Caden Fedek. Fedek faked a throw to first to try and get Ryder Lewis napping at second. It didn't work, and that did allow Nathan Peters to score, what stands as the insurance run in a 2-0 game. Fouled off again, 2 strikes. Souk playing Josh Collins Racing Red. East Hants Mastodons against the Bear Creek Express. We'll update those scores when we go to the 7th inning. Bottom of the 6th here. Pitch. And it's called a ball. Caden Fedek at shortstop for Delisle wasn't buying it. He was halfway to the dugout. 2 out. Runner at third. 2-0 Murnau. Thiessen with the pitch. Fouled off. So similar to the last game, or the last inning, when Justin Ritchie fouled off numerous balls to stay alive. Ritchie, the number 9 hitter for Delisle. Earl, the number 9 hitter for Murnau. Umpire is going to jog over. Looks as if he wants some more balls, as we've lost a few here. As Bernie Bennett was telling us, Bernie was telling us earlier, there is an issue with foul balls here. Bernie Burnett, not Bennett. Called strike 3. 6 strikeouts in the ball game, 3 of them in the last 2 innings for Nate Thiessen. Well, doesn't that set us up for a dramatic top of the 7th inning for the Delisle Pride? Before we get to the Pride, let's go across to the other diamonds here at the Peter Hallman Ball Yard. 2 teams that are 2-0 after day 1 are playing in the men's division. And in the top of the 6th inning, the Bear Creek Express are leading the East Hants Mastodons by a score of 5-4. Nobody on for the Mastodons, and 2 out in the inning. And again, both of those teams are 2-0, winning both of their games yesterday. Meanwhile, the other game taking place is in the top of the 6th as well. The Souk Loggers are leading the Josh Collins Racing Red by a score of 6-3. Josh Collins, though, has 2 men on, runners at first and second, and only 1 man out. Will we have finals before this one is over? Murnau certainly doesn't hope so. as they're looking for 3 more outs to win it. Delisle looking to extend it. For the Delisle Pride, due up, third baseman Tom Norris, shortstop Caden Feddick, and center fielder Nick Fry. Warm-ups are completed. Here comes Tom Norris. Norris is 0 for 2 in the ballgame. He got on in the second inning by an error, a fielder's choice attempt by Austin Earl at first base, where the throw to second was errant. Norris was on first. That moved Davis Laskowski to third. Delisle tried to execute a double steal, and both runners were picked off. Norris first going to second, and then Laskowski second trying to come home. To the action. Delisle needs runs, 2 of them, or they're done. Called strike 1. Brody Fraser pitching a shutout game to this point for the Murno Mariners. Here's his second pitch, swing and a miss. Very quickly, he's up on Tom Norris, 0-2. Fraser has given up 3 hits in the ballgame and walked 2. One other man, that being Norris, getting aboard via the error. That's been it. Somebody yelled yes, sir, and that was a close pitch, but Tom Norris's eye better than those in the crowd. Difficult pitch if it was the waste pitch. It was extremely close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He pulled the string on that one. 7 strikeouts for Brody Fraser. That brings Caden Feddick to the plate. Feddick is 0 for 2 in the game. Struck out looking in the second. Struck out swinging in the 5th. In both cases, he has disputed some of the called strikes against him. Feddick has been a good hitter. He's batted leadoff for most of this tournament. Takes strike 1, and again, the shoulders pop and the neck looks skyward. And the head looks skyward. Neck stays where it was. The neck moved. Trust me on that one. 1 strike. Feddick looks at ball 1. No question about that one. Murno Mariners out of Newfoundland. 3-3 in the round robin. Leading 2-0 over the Delisle Pride, also 3-3 in the round robin. He went. Strike 2, and again, he doesn't think he went. Hey, Caden, you got to settle down in there. Team needs a base runner. Feddick has had a very good tournament, but now he pops this one way up. I'm not sure Green has a chance at it, and in fact, it comes down in amongst the Delisle supporters. Haven't heard much from the Delisle supporters. Having said that, they haven't had a lot to cheer about. 3 hits in the game, 1 man on by a walk, 2 men on by a walk, and 1 man on by an error. The key play in the game, quite likely, came in the second inning. The attempted double steal that was gunned down by excellent execution by the Mariners. 2 strikes on Caden Feddick. That's inside. 2-2. There is dampness in the ballpark, but I don't know that it's rainy. It is rainy? Okay. I've just got an update from people that have been out there. Feddick grounds it to Ryder Lewis across to first. 2 down. Nick Fry needs to get something started for the Delisle Pride. Down 2-0, down 2 outs, top of the 7th inning. I will say this for the fans of the Murno Mariners. The longer the game gone, the louder they've gotten. Good cheering here at Peter Hallman Ball-Yard. Ball 1 to Nick Fry. Fry is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled in the 5th inning. Grounded out to Ryder Lewis back in the 3rd. After a single, He moved to second on the walk to Evan Young. That was probably the biggest threat for Delisle. They've had 2 in the game. First and third, nobody out. Double steal attempt got gunned down at both ends, and they had the bases loaded in the 5th. Otherwise, it's been an efficient game for Brody Fraser. Here's Fraser's delivery. That's in for a strike. And I think Fry knew it. Looking to get a gauge on Fraser to try and get a second hit in the game. If he does get on, Evan Young will be the batter. Ground ball, fouled. Fry stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is game C3 of Softball Canada's U23 championship. The winner advances to play this afternoon, scheduled for 3:30, weather permitting. The loser is eliminated. Nick Fry is the last man standing for Delisle to try and keep them alive. Fouled off. Did we not go through with this 2 innings ago with Justin Ritchie at the plate with 2 out and the bases loaded? Infield at regular depth. Earl just off for first, a little bit behind it. Ryder deep. Peters, normal depth. Power at third. Inside. A tight one to be taken by Nick Fry. Evens the count at 2-2. Delisle down to their last hope. Ground ball to Ryder Lewis, and it's through Lewis. I'm going to be charitable and give Fry the single. I think Lewis would like to have made that ball or made the catch, or more so, maybe got his body in front of it. And I think he knows it. So that extends things and heightens the drama just a little bit more. Evan Young, the designated player, 0 for 1. He lined out to Ryder Lewis back in the 3rd inning, walked in the 5th. Fraser up the middle, base hit. Delisle trying to string something together. Corbett fields it in center field. Runners at first and second. And the second time in 3 innings, Justin Ritchie, the number 9 hitter, will come to the plate with ducks on the pond. Ritchie was up with the bases loaded in the 5th and struck out looking. He now comes to the plate with Evan Young at first and Nick Fry at second. Well, Delisle, Saskatchewan maybe stole one in their first game, beating Tavistock in extra innings, in which they were down to their last out. Are they down to their last out again? Yes, they are down to their last out again. Can they turn another comeback? The Murno Mariners are going to have a conference on the mound. With the generosity of my scoring, giving Nick Fry a single, that's 5 hits in the ball game. This will be the 27th batter that Brody Fraser has faced. He's been impressive and effective. Ritchie is 0 for 2. He popped up to Fraser back in the 3rd and struck out looking with the bases loaded in the 5th. 2 down, 2 on. 2-0, Murno with the lead against Delisle. Delisle down to their last out. And it's popped up and just out of play. Lyndon Powers had a pretty good tournament, but he wasn't going to get to that one. There was a fence obstructing his path. Strike 1 on Justin Ritchie. New ball in play. Should Ritchie get on to load the bases or knock in a run, we go to the top of the order, and Ryan Bicknell is on deck. Brody Fraser has no care about that. Justin Ritchie is at the plate for Delisle. Fouled off. So now Delisle not only down to their last out, down to their last strike. Ritchie trying to maintain the appearance of calm. Brody Frazier will walk the semicircle. He will toe the slab. Dead center middle. 2 strikes on Justin Ritchie. Oh, Ritchie thought about it. He thought about it, but the ball was high, and the good eye makes it 1 ball, 2 strikes. A minor reprieve for Delisle, but they need a hit or a base runner. Down 2-0, 2 outs. And he whacks it into left field. There's a base hit being waved around, and scoring is Nick Fry. Single and an RBI. Young will go to second, and scoring on the play is Nick Fry. Well now, with 2 out in the top of the 7th, the Delisle Pride got a single from Nick Fry that some would suggest that second baseman Ryder Lewis should have been able to handle. I know that's somewhat critical of a player that's been very good in this tournament, but I think if you ask him, he would want that back. Young followed with a single to put runners at first and second, and then Josh Ritchie with the clutch RBI single to make it a 2-1 ball game. Murno is having a team conference with Bicknell to the plate. Justin Ritchie will be at first, albeit he is now being replaced by a pinch runner. That's number 12 for Delisle. So Rhett Bernard is at first base, running for Josh Ritchie. Back to our action.
Now pitch running at first base, number 12, Rhett Bernard.
Ryan Bicknell is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. Struck out looking in the first. Grounded out to Lyndon Power at third. Popped up to Brody Frazier in the 6th. One in, 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 7th inning. Fouled off. Let me run that by you again. Murno Mariners lead the Delisle Pride 2-1 in the elimination game. Top of the 7th inning, there are 2 men out. Runners at first and second, 1 strike on Ryan Bicknell. A base hit ties it. A walk wouldn't be the worst thing either for Delisle. A putout ends it, providing that it's Bicknell that goes out or a force. Swing and a miss. So once again, Delisle down to their last strike. Brody Frazier with an 0-2 count. On the batter, Ryan Bicknell. Let's listen to these fans. Fouled off. Well, if there was a pro line on what was going to happen, I should have been able to bet on the foul. Because Justin Ritchie, in his case, Austin Earl, in his case, for Murno, all have fouled balls off to stay alive. The count is 0-2. Will Frazier waste one here and try and get Bicknell to chase? Just outside. And again, the waste pitches, if that's what they are, from Brody Frazier, are extremely close. But Bicknell wasn't biting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 out, 2 on, 2-1 Murno. Top of the 7th. Ball 2. The count moves to 2-2. Frazier has shown no illustration or no hint of not being able to find the plate. Bicknell stands in. Frazier delivers. Swing and fouled off. Green couldn't hold it. And it was just touched by the most narrow of margins by Bicknell. The right fielder adjusting his cleats out there. Corbett in center. King in left. Defense is at regular depth. They need one out, do Murno, to win the game. They need a run to tie it, do Delisle. Ball 3. So the count is full. There are 2 men out. There will be all kinds of motion as soon as Fraser goes into his motion. Bernard at first, Young at second, 2 out, full count. 2-1 Murno, top of the 7th. Oh, they called it strike 3. Eighth strikeout in the ballgame. Second time that Ryan Bicknell has been caught looking, and the Murno Mariners win it by a score of 2-1. 1 run for Delisle. They got 3 hits that inning. The line score today, Murno wins it 2-0. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Murno Mariners. For Delisle, who are still somewhat unhappy with the umpiring, will now shake hands with Murno, and they are eliminated. Delisle, 1 run on 6 hits, 3 of those hits coming in the crucial 7th inning. Before we wrap up this game, we'll take a quick look at the 2 games taking place at Peter Hallman Ball-Yard in the men's division. The Bear Creek Express and the East Hants Mastodons are tied at 5. Bear Creek from Ontario, East Hants is from Nova Scotia. Tied at 5 in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out and East Hants at the plate. Again, both of those teams are 2-0. Meanwhile, the Josh Collins Racing Reds are playing the Souk Loggers of British Columbia. Josh Collins Racing Reds from Newfoundland. The Souk Loggers lead it 6-3 in the top of the 7th with 2 men out, so they're just about to nail that one down. Again, our final here, the Murno Mariners beat the Delisle Pride by a score of 2-1. With that win, Murno now advances to the game scheduled for 3:30. Our current time now is 11 o'clock, and according to my precious phone, 100% chance of rain here at 11 o'clock, and the rain is to persist, according to the phone, until 5 this afternoon. So we'll see you when we get resumed here at the Peter Hallman Ball-Yard, but we thank you for watching us today on Conestoga College Digital TV. This is Softball Canada's U23 Men's and Masters Championships coming from the Peter Hallman Ball-Yard in Kitchener, presented by the Kitchener Fastball Promotions. I'm Fred Wallace. Due up next, Rostock Junior Batman against the Tavistock Merchants. We'll be back with more as we continue.